Okay. And that's why I've said on this issue of fuel, this is not the president's problem.
All right.
Largely, it is a problem of parliament.
No.
What if, just a question of, what if hizi magari ambazo zinachomwa, all these things that are happening, happens to these leaders who really don't understand that they were given these positions to lead, or maybe to pass bills that can at least make a Kenyan citizen, or make a normal Kenyan mwananchi to feel good. What if hizi magari za watu wenye hata si watu wa serikali zinachomwa, ziwe za wao wenyewe ndo zinachomwa?
One of the vehicle that was carrying gadgets za UDA has just been banned because huyu jamaa amejaribu kusimamishwa. Alikuwa na stickers za UDA na alikuwa na bendera ya UDA. So gari imeweza kuchoma kwa sababu ni mtu wa two term. Ako na stickers za UDA ndani ya gari. Na hata si Mkenya, ni Mburundi. Hakuwa Mkenya, alikuwa Mburundi na alikuwa na stickers za UDA.
You know, I've always believed, and I always know very well, that it's not good to wish your enemy wrong. Sometimes it's normally good to just wish them well, so that they see the way you succeed, they see the way you're doing, ili wengine wachungu zaidi. But there are some people whom, in as much as maybe you don't wish them death, unaweza tamani sana uone yale mambo ambayo yanawatendekea, kwa sababu you know, there is no way, hakuna jinsi ambavyo watu wanaweza wakaanza tu wanaweza kaleta tu madharau kwa maisha ya mtu kwa sababu wanadhania ama wanaona kwamba nyinyi hamfai. I'm talking about this because today in the morning, GLADYS, that is the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, was on Citizen TV, and during the daybreak, they were hosted by Sam. Kulikuwa na Njeri Maina, that is women rep, and also Senator Manzo. Of course, Senator Manzo didn't attend, didn't go there physically because of the jam and all the mamona jam strike ya magari and all that. But then something really surprised me. It might have been said, ama pengine walizungumza ni kama ni kimchezo tu, but then it wasn't a joke. It is a very serious, a very sensitive statement, especially coming from a national leader who claims to be caring too much about the well-being of her people. Sam GITUKU asked Dan Manzo why he didn't go to the station physically, and then alafu nikasikia GLADYS SHOLLEI akisema kwamba perhaps he uses matatu.
That's okay. Let's hear from Senator Dan Manzo, who is now joining us. Senator, good morning. And first of all, how come you are unable to get to studio?
Maybe he uses a matatu.
Senator, can you hear me? Well, unfortunately, Senator, we don't seem to hear you. Perhaps your microphone is on mute. If you can hear us, please check that connection so that we can hear from you.
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. Please go right ahead. And why are you not here?
Well, Sam, you know, first of all, I wanted to give support to the strike today. And that now that Kenyans described it as total shutdown, then I have agreed, and later on, you know, I'll be communicating with the citizens of Makueni. You know, Mombasa Road goes 300 kilometers through the Makueni County. And again, you know, I'm very disappointed of what the Deputy Speaker is saying.
That statement, in as much as maybe according to her she was joking, but it is not a statement that is supposed to come from a leader. A leader, there is a way a leader is expected to behave, or there's a way a leader is expected to carry herself with there are a lot of decorum. There is a way you are expected to present yourself. People don't really expect you to just be talking anyhow. There is no way where unaweza ukasema unaamua na unasema kwamba huyu hajakuja kwa sababu kazi yake ni mtu ambaye anapanda matatu. And mark you are saying that way And you know very well the reason as why watu wa matatu wako kwa street wame strike. So you really enjoy. Okay, what are you trying to tell us wenye hatuna magari wenye tunatumia matatu? Which picture are you trying to portray to especially us, the people when you wanatumia public means, public as a means of transport, kwenda point A to point B? That we are not people. Like we really need to change how we think. Njeri Maina amesema vizuri kwamba mimi mwenyewe I ordered the Uber. Nimeorder ya kwanza, ya pili waka cancel. Watatu ndiye amekuja. And of course, you've seen what has been going on. Okay, I'm sorry to say this, but you know, sometimes unaona magari za watu zikichomwa, unasema kwamba kumbe hata ya undo ingechomwa. Because hii ni kujigamba gani unajigamba? How are you? Why are you behaving this way? Why are you behaving as if you own the country? Why are you behaving as if there is nothing that nobody is supposed to tell you? Like literally, what we are supposed to do is to hug. Like we are supposed to hug you. Thank you very much for what you're doing. You're doing a very wonderful job. That is exactly what you're trying to tell us. Is that what you're trying to tell us? That is how we're supposed to behave with you? Let us be realistic. Let us be honest with each other and understand that sometimes issues or things that are happening in our lives, they don't happen because we want them to happen. Hao viongozi wanatuonaga ni kama kwamba yale mambo ambayo yanatendeka kwa maisha yetu saa zingine sisi wenyewe ndio tunataka ama sisi wenyewe ndio huwa tunasababisha yanatendeka. And then unatuambia and then she goes ahead and says that the issue that is happening, these guys also understand that what is happening right now is being caused by the parliament.
Okay. And that's why I've said on this issue of fuel, this is not the president's problem.
All right.
Largely, it is a problem of parliament.
No, all right.
And we are the ones to do something about it. Because all those duties and taxes, it is us who pass them. It is our responsibility. We should take full responsibility. I do take full responsibility.
That's okay, Deputy Speaker. Njeri,
and she's a deputy speaker of the National Assembly. All these bills of taxation bills, they are passing them out wanazipitisha kwenye bunge. And then she's coming and telling us that we are not supposed to blame William Ruto. The problem is not William Ruto. The problem is parliament. If the problem is parliament, and you are among the parliamentarians that we expect to pass to pass bills that can really at least help Kenyans, and then you are coming on a national television and you are telling us the problem is not William Ruto. How come the problem is not William Ruto yet is the president? Right now, I normally say, and I started saying this thing long time ago. For those who've been watching, for those who've been following for a very long time, I say this, that anything that is going to happen in this government, whether it is done by William Ruto or done by somebody else, it will be blamed on William Ruto because he is the president and this is his government. He is the one that is controlling everything. So we can't blame anybody. We can't blame Kindiki. We can't blame Soprano guy. Tutamblame sangapi na anakuja ndazo kutuambia hapa fire. Mnanihurumia. We have no time to blame Kithure Kindiki because hata hiyo sauti yenye atazungumza nayo hana. We can't blame Kithure Kindiki because in fact Kithure Kindiki is a how do we say it? Yule mtu ambaye amebandikwa tu hapo. He is not the real deputy president. So how can we blame him? This government was not found by him. He just joined there because now the other guy messed up. So, and then you guys are telling us things that we even seriously. I think it is high time we really need to do something concerning these people because pale ambapo panaelekea it's very dangerous.
And I think this is an issue that we must take responsibility as leaders. We were here I think some 3 weeks ago when we were talking about procurement outside G2G, and I told you that, and now I'm vindicated, that it was just being taken round in circles, that we were not going to see any prosecution happening, and we haven't seen it to date. So I do wonder how much longer they need to, quote-unquote, investigate that. And we can, of course, we all know that we have an issue with the US, Iran, Israel,
the war.
The war, right? But then at the end of the day, we must also look at the how much is the landing cost per barrel. There has been issues of procurement outside G2G. We have heard that there are entities and companies, persons who are in government involved in the shipping of oil. So is it that people are actually making an inflated landing cost out of it? Is it the reason we are seeing the high cost of fuel, or is it the actual war? So all these issues make it very intricate, but at the end of the day, the Kenyan people just want a solution from the leaders. And GLADYS, SHOLLEI and I are the leaders that the Kenyan people are waiting for. And Parliament is on recess. We should be getting back to ensure that we address these concerns so that regular Kenyans can go on with their day-to-day activities.
So how do you're suggesting that we zero rate VAT on fuel? Currently, the VAT on diesel is 17 shillings 99 cents. If you remove that, would reduce the price of a litre of diesel to 224 shillings 93 cents in Nairobi. What more do you want us to do? Because you said that removing VAT would take us to the original price, which is surely not possible. Because
and what deficit will we create?
Sorry, just go ahead, Senator.
That will cushion Kenyans a little bit, but if you look at fuel generally, it has many other taxes.
Yes.
We can deal with the road levy because that's necessary.
It's currently 25 shillings. I'm saying it's currently 25 shillings. What do we reduce?
I'm just saying that even if we were to reduce on the road levy,
yeah,
at least we should be at par with the countries within Eastern African region. Also, all of us transport fuel, from the high seas almost at the same cost.
Yeah.
So we just need to look at that generally, because when you kill the whole economy, then it will be very expensive to farm. It will be expensive to move goods. It will be expensive to do everything else. And after all, anyway, all the taxes collected, a lot of them end up getting lost in corruption. There's a lot of corruption in construction of roads. If you see the cost per kilometer in Kenya, the cost per kilometer in Burkina Faso, they are miles apart. So if also then we will make sure that, structures will support loss of corruption. For example, we should be making amendments of the laws. What happens is that if you make a bad road, you have about a year to be paid. But if we could move that to 10 years, so that if you make a road and within 5 years it is destroyed, then it means you have some part of your money is retained as a way of making sure there's no corruption in that regard, or even the sentences of people who steal through that mechanism will be able to save a lot more money. We are still losing a lot of money with corruption every day. That's the same money we should be cushioning Kenyans with.
Senator,
so I think for whatever reason, we must make sure that cost of fuel is affordable to Kenyans.
Affordable. Now, Senator, you're saying that we look at the road maintenance levy. There's a proposal by Dean Dinyoro to scrap the 7 shilling increment that was effected back in 2024. But then again, the same 7 shillings is already securitized. If you're to look at the structure of that money, there's also some 3 shillings out of the 25 that goes to the annuity program. So in essence, you're left with about, 15 shillings? There are conversations to securitize 5 shillings further. That will leave you with just 10 shillings of a wiggling space.
That's okay, but the landing costs and the number of taxes surrounding fuel, other than just the road levy and the VAT. There are quite a number of other taxes which can be skillfully dealt with. One of the things I think the Energy Regulatory Authority has been failing in is consulting, making a little bit of consultation, like public participation, because this is mandatory in our constitution. And the stakeholders are brilliant, and they are experts in this region. I'm sure if they were consulting before just waking up and increasing fuel within every month, if they have a constant way of consulting stakeholders, I'm sure, from the Law Society, from the traders in energy, from economies, from government departments, we'll be able to come up with something, scientifically proven, and something which balances the taxes and the earnings and the sort of money we need to collect to do the roads. But they never consult anybody. All that we hear in that area and from the KPC are people who had committed crime. The monies taken were recovered. There's an exhibit. No one has been taken to court up to today. This is where Kenya has a problem. Why have these people not gone to court and they have committed serious crimes? You could see the drama in which they were arrested in. And then all of a sudden, no prosecution, for these particular people because they are protected people by the state. So we need to see, action when people mess up. And most important, we'll be not following the constitution when it comes to prices increments. I am sure most of the questions you're asking me, if they had consulted experts in this particular area, would have had something well-balanced public participation of at least once a day in every month. And I'm sure enough Kenyans will give enough input, comparative studies without what is happening with other nations. How come in Uganda, Rwanda, Tanzania, other than the simple reason given by the president that we have longer roads than them and they quickly proven us wrong, we are richer than them. Trust me, the economies of Rwanda and Uganda are growing at a faster rate than Kenya because they are controlling the cost of fuel. And Kenyans are able to manufacture more, when the cost is bearable and it is reasonable.
Oh, okay.
And look, one thing, that the way these guys are moving, the way these guys are going high, hapa mbele itakuwa rahisi kwao. I want you to listen to GLADYS SHOLLEI speaking, and then after listening to her, you'll tell me what you think at the comment section, fellow Kenyans.
Mheshimiwa Deputy Speaker, I don't know what you've seen on the roads, but also your thoughts about where we are. Some are saying the high fuel prices are unsustainable. What can we do?
I think what has happened is regrettable. Yeah. But it is no making of the country or the executive or the leaders in office. Mm-hmm. This has just come to do with the instability in fuel availability and transportation and distribution worldwide. Yeah. Everybody knows about what's happening at the Strait of Hormuz. Mm-hmm. So I think it's not useful or productive for us to have blame game. I think what we should be telling ourselves is this is what has happened. What can we do to protect Kenyans? Mm-hmm. It is the responsibility of the state to see how to navigate or to allow traders and the members of the public to be able to be cushioned against these challenges. And something has been done. Already the government has deployed the Petroleum Development Levy funds. And that is exactly what the Petroleum Development Levy Fund money is supposed to be for. Yep. It's supposed to be during times like this, it can be used to cushion the price of fuel, and that has already happened. 5 billion has already been deployed. Secondly, Parliament did amend the VAT Act and reduced VAT from 16% to 8%. Right. Yeah, and so you can see that it was deliberate, that something was being done to ensure that there is preservation of the citizens' purchasing power and to ensure that the prices don't go higher than they already are. Mm-hmm. So yes, the prices have gone higher, but a lot has been done. And almost urgently and immediately it happened to ensure that we mitigate the damage and to Kenyans. So I think the conversation we should be having is, what has our government done? Has the government taken steps to do something? That was done immediately. Mm-hmm. That's why you saw the price went up and it came down immediately. And that is not the end of it. That shall continue to be done. And I know that I've been talking to many people, and many people say, what can be done? I said, those are the conversations you should be having with your members of parliament. Mm-hmm. Because also, if you look at the prices that the fuel price really has got to do, in fact, I should probably show you what actually brings the prices up. Mm-hmm. If you look at petroleum, when it's landed, it's 118 shillings, 118.45. So let's say 19 shillings. That's the cost of fuel, the freight, the insurance, etc. That's the landed cost. But we have the road maintenance levy, which is 25 shillings.
Right.
But we know as Kenyans, all of us value the road maintenance levy because that's what is used to develop and is dedicated to our road infrastructure. We have the excise duty, which is 22 shillings.
Yep.
That's the general tax for the national budget. That's how we fund our schools, our hospitals, and so on. So that's a duty, a tax that's there. We have VAT, which is now 17 shillings. It could have been double that. It's 18 shillings. It could have been double that amount. And now that's what I'm saying, at least we must say something has been done. Parliament took the steps immediately. The president signed the law immediately, and it took effect, and that's how we had an overnight change in the pricing. There is a petroleum development levy, which is 5 shillings. And then there is other levies, which comes to about 8 shillings. And then, of course, there is the margins. That also has nothing to do with the state, which has got to do with the storage, distribution, and the oil marketeers' profit, because these are business people who do this. So, again, members of the public should be having a conversation with their members of parliament saying, what can we do to reduce these taxes that have been introduced over the years? And it's not something you can say, we'll just remove this. For example, the road maintenance levy, we know some of it has been securitized to allow us to be able to get all the roads that had stalled to be up and running. Part of the petroleum development levy, some of the monies that had been collected over the years has been used to stabilize the price, and that has already happened. So it's a matter of conversation that what can continue to be done. What was immediately possible to be done has been done.
Okay.
What the next step should be is that is to say what else can be done. And I think that is something we should have, and that's why when I hear people in the United Opposition complaining, saying they'll protest, they'll go on strike and so on, that won't change anything. I think what they should be doing is mobilizing their members of parliament to raise this. And I don't think if they raise what changes they need to make in parliament, I don't think there's any parliamentarian who will be objectionable if it is logically possible and makes economic sense.
I mean, whatever you're explaining makes a lot of sense, because that is how the price of the pump prices are determined, and it's in law. But the Member of Parliament for Kiharu, Dindi Nyoro, has written to the Speaker asking for a special sitting to review some of these laws, including scrapping the VAT, reducing the road maintenance levy fund by 7 shillings, which you recall that was raised back in 2024 in July. Is this something that Parliament will consider, or it has to come from the majority side?
No, I think what he has raised is actually what all of us, and that's exactly what I've been telling you this morning. I didn't even know that he had written that letter, but it's exactly what I've said, is that we should be having conversations. Every citizenry should be putting pressure on their members of parliament to see what they can do. And yes, having a special sitting, that is possible, but again, that has to be put with, that is a prerogative and at the discretion of the Speaker.
You haven't heard of any developments so far?
You've just told me about that he has written the letter, but I know I've heard from the grapevine that a lot of people are having that conversation. But also, at the same time, what should be raised is that you can't just say scrap this and scrap that. You must tell yourself, in lieu of that, then what happens to other programs that are going on in the country? Are we going to make sure there's no medicines in the shops and so in the hospitals and so on? Do you want our schools to close down? No. So there has to be a balance. You have to strike a balance what makes sense. But what I think was the most important thing that was done is that most of the cushioning and stabilizing of the price went to kerosene. That's why the price of kerosene did not change, because we are alive to the fact that a majority of Kenyans with low incomes depend on kerosene in their households.
For lighting, perhaps.
Yes, and so that's why you feel in Kenya we've cushioned.
No.